Okay, so we all find ourselves complaining about traffic times or complaining that we don't have time to work out. Like, we've all been there. I'm there like 2 or 3 days a week. I, get mad at myself for not working out. But there's a solution to a lot of these things, and that is biking for your commute. It's kind of awkward because I actually didn't bike today. I was going to bring my bike in as like a visual aid, but I was running a little late. So I don't have my bike with me today, but there's a lot of really good reasons why biking can help. So I'm going to kind of go over the main 4, which is like physically for your body, for the environment, for your commute times, and makes sense for us college kids. Money, saves you money. All right, so we all get to school and then we sit. And then you like stand up and you walk to the cafeteria to see your friends, and then you sit again. And like you're just sitting all day. You drive to school, you're sitting while you drive. So like I found, it hurts your back, and like I always complain. I'm sure you guys hear me in class all day. I'm always complaining about how my butt hurts on these chairs. I think so. Like biking is always a great way to kind of start my day. You get the legs moving. You kind of get a little core workout because you're having to keep your body up. And yeah, another reason is you can't complain about not having time for a workout. It's a 5-mile bike to my house, which sounds like a lot. It's really not that bad. It's like 20 minutes. It's super fast and it's really easy. But yeah, so I can never like complain about not having time for workout, because if I drive, it's 15 minutes. If I bike, all I have to do is add another 5 minutes, and then I also got to work out in that same amount of time. So it helps a lot. And a really cool stat, I was looking at ibike.org. They've kind of compiled a lot of different statistics from a lot of different sources. And they said if all your habits stay the same, like your eating habits, what you did at home, like how much TV you watch, like everything, if you just biked 4 miles a day, so that's like 2 miles to where you're going and 2 miles home, the average person would lose 13 pounds in the first year. So it just kind of goes to show the exercise benefits you can have. On top of your personal health, there's like the health of the environment, and that's really important. So biking is great because you're not burning any fossil fuels, which kill the environment with CO2 levels. So an SUV, if you're a solo driver, you can see, walking or biking, you're almost releasing no CO2. It's just like what you breathe, basically, compared to how much is released if you drive. So they did the math, and 4 miles of biking, this is also from ibike.org, 4 miles of biking actually keeps 15 pounds of pollutants out of the air. And on top of the pollutants that you're burning, it saves water pollution because there's no transmission fluid, you're not having a leak of brake fluid, all that kind of stuff that can just kind of end up on the ground. Or when you change your oil, like you have to take your oil to a special place because you can't just throw it away because it's a pollutant. My favorite reason is commute time. I can like roll right up to class and park my bike out on the bike rack and then walk in here faster than you can like drive around the parking structure and you look for your spot and you end up on the 4th floor, and then the sun's like baking your car, and then you have to walk the 7-minute walk to class. So I love how much time it saves you there, because you add on, you bike an average of 10 miles per hour. I go a little faster sometimes when I'm running late, like real late. But so it really doesn't take that long. So like I was saying, for me to drive and park takes about 20 minutes. Like I have to give myself that much time. If I bike, it takes literally the same time, because the time that you spend driving around trying to find parking here at school, like it's crazy. That time you save biking, it like equals out actually. So I really like that. And then the part that makes the most sense for college kids like us is money. The New York Times and Forbes kind of came together and did a report, and basically the annual cost of riding a bike versus owning a car is $308 versus the $8,220 you'd spend on your car. That's like maintenance, gasoline, buying the vehicle, all those things. Like you save almost $8,000 a year. That's like trip to Hawaii. That's like a big deal. That's a lot of money you save. And they said if everybody in America were to bike 4 miles a week, so like just one 2-mile ride to school and 2-mile ride home, once a week. If everybody did that, we would save, as a nation, 2 billion gallons of gas per year, which is a pretty outstanding number. So I really like biking. There's so many benefits to it. You're saving pollutants, you're getting your exercise in. There's just lots of really great things about biking, so hopefully some of you might consider it, maybe now. Thank you. Breathing and stretching.
Yeah, I wish I could bike to school, but I think that's a little far. Same here.
Dude, the other day, so like, I try and plan it, like, okay, I know I have time to go home. The other day I didn't plan it, and I realized I drove like to my friend's house before I left my house. I literally ended up biking 14 miles to get home.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Why do you need to come for the next time?
Are we supposed to sit down?
If you have one, I'd like to have it, thank you. But you're not graded on it.
It's not stapled.
That's okay.
Speeches back.
I probably will just toss it after I do the evaluation. The introduction is fine. I think that you do kind of hurt your credibility a little bit when you have to tell the story that you didn't bike in today, even though it was your plan, because you're running short of time, and it's like, well, all of a sudden you've kind of shot yourself in the foot as you're getting started. But you know, you're friendly when you're doing it, and you make it kind of funny. So I think it works at getting the audience's attention, and it clearly identifies what the topic is. You got a very clear thesis statement. There's a very solid preview in the body of the speech. I did think that when you were going through the presentation, you needed to do a little bit more signposting. You're trying to let the visuals do the transitions for you, but sometimes you get to the visuals before you even talk about them, and they're up there for a period of time, and you actually have made it a switch in topics. So you want to be more consistent on that. Your voice, I think, projects well. There's good variety in your voice. Everything flows pretty smoothly. Sometimes you drop your voice a little bit, and it's not as articulate and clear as it could be, but that was only an occasional instance. People develop interesting cadences when they're speaking, and they kind of come up with their own way of doing things. And you've got kind of a laconic way of speaking. You know, you're low key, sometimes, I don't want to say lazy per se, but it comes across as if, you know, you were incredibly mellow at times. But incredibly mellow people, sometimes I don't want to say mumble, but they do drop the sound of their voice a little bit. And I think maybe a little more energy here and there would be helpful. On the visual factors, your facial expressions are pretty good. I think you look very animated most of the time. You do pretty well with eye contact. You're looking at us most of the time. You're not really dependent on notes or a script or anything like that, which I thought was excellent. However, you have a couple of things that you're doing that are problematic, and I'll bet you know immediately what one of them is, and you got nervous feet. You got dancing feet, my friend. Yeah. You're walking from side to side. You're kind of shifting your weight from one foot to the other. You never look like you are in control and confident, and here's where I'm going to talk from. Here's the point I'm going to make. It's sort of like I'm strolling through the speech, and I'm just thinking out loud, and kind of like if you were at home walking around talking out loud instead of giving a presentation. So I think that's anxiety stuff, or it's just negligence. You're not paying attention to the fact that you are giving a speech. You know, well, you'll see it when you watch your video. You'll notice it right away. So that's the one place that I saw maybe a little bit of anxiety. And your gestures are real limited because you get that remote in your hand, and then basically it's just like you've got I don't want to say a death grip on it, but it becomes convenient for you to kind of, you know, move it between your hands, and you know you don't twist it open or anything, but I've seen people do that kind of stuff. But you are, you know, it becomes an extension of your anxiety.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.